What is going on, guys? It's the Mad Dragon, jumping back into some Rugby 25 today with a brand new update that has come out for the game that is meant to be actually tackling some of the gameplay issues. This is technically actually update number 3, but the first 2 have been for like stability and sorting out crashes and stuff. And I haven't really felt like worth making a video about how do I show off it crashes less. You know, it might just be that I've had a good game. Patch number 3 is meant to be actual improvements to the gameplay, which I'm looking forward to testing out because that's what I've been seeing across the comment sections and on the online reviews. I have played a half of this new gameplay because it came up very late last night, and I've just realised from sitting down getting ready to record now that the version in the bottom right hand corner has even changed from last night. So more things might even be different to what I got to experience, but it does feel like the update has brought a step in the right direction, which has been good from what I've experienced so far. So as always, you can go through the timeline to jump to a specific chapter you want, or there will be actual timestamps in the description if there's a specific area of the game you want to look at. First of all, let's have a look at the patch notes. This is what we've got from the guys over at Rugby 25. Dear players, a new patch uploaded last night. Here's the change log. Updated players and rosters, improved rucks, improved lineouts, improved career recruitment, corrected set-piece kick takers, and improved stability. Once again, improved stability has been one of their main focuses in these updates. Now, those patch notes, not a lot to go on what any of them mean. It's just saying the word improved followed by an area. But from my experience last night, some things actually do seem to have improved, but there'll probably be a little bit more to talk about what improved means. So first of all, let's just start out in this main menu. The career mode. Now, I've been playing with the Blues. I've been doing a career in the background. I haven't done any videos on it because it's got a lot of depth in the career. It's not quite there to be able to say, like, man, I want to sit down and do a series, because I've done 2 seasons with the Blues. And I have already won basically every single game with the Blues. I have got quite the squad at the minute. If I can go to my, if I can remember where my, let me just skip ahead 6 days, select my lineup. I haven't really messed about with the forwards too much, but like my back line is now Antoine Dupont, Bowden Barrett, Caleb Clark, we've got Ioane, Mark Talea, and Ange Capuozzo. I've got quite a good little backline going on there, and it's not hard to really fill out some of those players and get some of those good squads in. I'm not putting it on all the realistic difficulties and stuff, but one of the things that was a big issue for a lot of people was the actual sort of positioning when you selected your lineup, that it wouldn't change this lineup, and your bench was also all over the place. As you can see, my bench still hasn't saved from what I keep changing it to. I've still got 2 scrum halves, 2 fly halves. I don't know why that is, but they've said improved career recruitment, not to do with that, but they have changed it now in season. They seem to work a little bit better. Improved recruitment is where you go over to this section. I'm still not a fan of the way this is laid out for the recruitment. It's very hard to know what is going on or why. But you come over here and you go over to search for players. That's how you can see everyone that's available, and you can actually put a bid in right now to be able to get your players. They're all still stuck in the sort of mid-70s for me. You can go into your filter. You can go down to your availability and say who is unavailable at the minute. Press accept, and it will come up with a whole list of people. Now, a lot of people have noticed Leinster steal everyone in every season you will ever do in career. For some reason, that's a bizarre glitch they're available to do, and Leinster take all of the guys. But what you can do from here is that you can find some players. Who do we think is good? Paul Boudouin is a good player for France, and also Lorenzo Canoni. You can add them to your watch list. You can go over to your transfer hub and take a look at your watch list, and it will say here, well, what position they play, how old they are, but also when their expiry date is on their current contract. I've also got my eyes on Will Jordan and Louis Bielbiaré. Going over in 2027. At the minute, I'm playing in 2026. Oh, no, I'm not. I'm actually playing in February 2027. So those watch lists will be coming up, and they've said they've changed that improvement in the recruitment. I can't dive any deeper. It just says improved career recruitment. In what areas and how, I don't know. As a player jumping straight into this, it looks pretty identical to me. Maybe if you'd started a new career, it would look totally different for some reason. Leinster still have all the players, but the recruitment thing I've got on board with and kind of understand how it's going. I do think this needs to be worked on the layout, and there's so many tabs to go across and work out. I can see why a lot of people are struggling with it. I've also noticed a weird thing with the objectives. The objectives don't work, or you don't get awarded the points for the objectives, which is also a little bit weird. I have been doing some career mode. At the minute, it's not channel worthy to me to start putting a lot of those games out. I'll wait for that to still improve a little bit more. They've also updated the player rosters. and trying to sort some stuff. Now, one of the most obvious ones is France. We all will have played with France at some point, right? And they have done some changes. Malvaca's now on in hooker rather than playing out on left wing, which is where we've seen him. They've changed, so they've got Roman Antimac in there now. They have changed the goal kick takers. I did a video for the Italy versus France Six Nations game, and it took me by surprise that Louis Bielbiaré was the goal kicker out of nowhere. They've now got Roman Antimac. Again, to me, Ramos is the kicker for them. I would want to be able to go in and change this to set the goal kicker. I've now set it as Tomo Ramos. Don't know why I can't see that it's that, because it's also white and I've got white over the top, so you can't see who you're selecting. I would like now to be able to be like, there it is. Tomo Ramos is now my kicker. Press confirm, go out of this game, go back in. Has it saved to be able to say that that's what it is? No. It goes back to Roman Antimac, who can also goal kick, but just from an immersion standpoint, we all know Tomo Ramos kicks for France, right? For the majority of that game. So, you know, that's something I would still like to see, but it looks like they have, oh no, Atasogbe is now on the wing for France as opposed to Damien Penaud, who's down there as well. So they have made a couple of changes. I did find, I was playing a game last night, was it with Tonga? I think it was with Tonga. And they didn't have enough players, and that was a little bit weird. Let me just have a scroll down here. Looks like they do have enough players now. I'm sure it was Tonga, and I only had 21 players on the team, so I couldn't even have a full set of substitutes. But so it looks like they have changed around some of the players and some of the rosters. Of course, the big thing has been like all the player rankings are all over the place. They will be being updated as they go along as well, because I don't think a lot of players are as fast as Louis Bielbiaré is in France. So hopefully they have changed a few of those stats and stuff. Yeah, they've still not got the stats really where I would be thinking. It's hard to know what stats they have improved unless you're tracking one specific player. Someone I do know is Louis Bielbiaré is down here as speed of 91, and Antoine Dupont is 96. Antoine Dupont is a fast player. Louis Bielbiaré is a faster player. We've all seen that. If you've been following the Six Nations, you know how fast he is. I think Louis Bielbiaré might be one of the fastest players in world rugby across the board. 91 speed, and Roman Antimac is 88. It's pretty close there. Mo Farner is also right there with him. So some of these stats still need to work on, considering they said they've updated players and rosters. Doesn't say they've updated the stats. It could just be they've updated the players in the teams, but I still think they want to have a look at the stats. But we'll jump in and take a look at the actual game. Who have we not played a game as so far? I still want to go with someone that had their face scans done. I think we've done quite a few of them. I think Georgia are now in the game. We could do Georgia. I don't actually know if we've done Wales in a video. Wales are playing on the weekend. Why do we do Wales? Let's do Wales and Georgia. Georgia can be in the white kit though, because I've had a couple of games with some kit clashes, and it's pretty tricky to see. I have actually been playing on hardest. And understanding what's going on. We'll drop it down to medium for the video, because a lot of the things we want to test out are things like the lineouts as well, which they don't always kick away the ball on hardest. Let's jump into medium for the sake of the video. But I have been playing on hardest. I've also been noticing that the game is drastically different whether you play on the end-on camera or the sideline camera, which is something that needs to be looked at. I keep saying it, and I put it in so much feedback to Big Ant, and I'm sure they just think I'm insane. It is different. Handoff doesn't work on side camera. It does work on end camera. The way the AI tackle you feels totally different from side camera to end on camera, and doing the ruck turnovers is different to side camera versus end on camera. You can swap during the game in the camera and feel the difference. Something is wrong in the camera layout, and I know not everyone plays with the sideline camera or the end on camera. There is a difference, and I will die on that sword if I need to. Here come our Wales boys. So we're going to be looking at the improved rucks, the improved lineouts, and the set piece kick taker. So if we can get a penalty today, we're going for posts, because we've got to see if that has actually been changed, because that is the area where the weirdest stuff happens. You choose a penalty, and you just your number 8 will step up to take over it. So Ben Thomas to get us kicked off and underway. Still not got any changes to the little nameplate at the bottom. I am playing on the end camera. Here's our first lineout of the game. Yeah, I am still playing end on, because the game is at the minute more fun, because the game plays better with the end on camera. The sideline camera isn't as much fun to play with, even though I personally prefer playing with the side camera. Right, let's go to middle. They've also added in a button on the defensive line out where you can choose to set up for the maul and not go into the air. Okay, the AI didn't even leap for that one. Doesn't look that improved in the minute. But they have him. Okay, there's the first turnover of the game, which is still Georgia getting over. They've also changed now the way you add players to the ruck. So you now can't do them in conjunction with anything else on your controller. So I would always have done, I would have always held down the sprint button. Because that way, as you're winning the ruck, as soon as you win the ruck, there's a turnover for us. Oh no, they managed to get the ball out just in time. But I used to hold down the RT button when adding players in, so that when I won the ruck, I would immediately have the target passing available to my forwards. If you hold down RT now, you cannot add players into the ruck. Anyone would collect that ball, boys? Thank you. You have to let go of every button and only press B. There's another turnover for the AI at the ruck time. I feel like I've had 3 players in both of these rucks. They've blown me out the water twice on those, okay? But yeah, so you can't press any of the button, you can't push the analog stick, you can't push the triggers, you can't do it. It's B exclusively to get your 3 guys in. There's a turnover for us, and then you've got to use the X button to get the steal. I'm also finding a bit of luck with the B. So they have added some stuff in now to at least make turnovers available. Oh, this is... The passing's still a little bit janky. I don't know why players aren't in my attacking line with me. But we're also looking for lineouts is another one we want to have a look at. So let's go for a little crossfield kick, see if we can get into touch over there. Didn't notice this guy in the shade as he stands over there. Whoop, anyone there, boys? Somebody get over to him. Right, let's set my balance to forwards to go wide, and my defense, I'll get ready for a kick defense. I have noticed in the new update that fullbacks have stopped catching the ball again, which is very annoying. I did also notice in the update that came out on Tuesday that the invincible player thing came back where they did the bump off and you couldn't tackle them. Hopefully that has been fixed. I haven't tested that one super extensively as of yet. Let's just get 3 boys in the combo. Let's get a turnover in here. We're looking for these improved rucks. We're looking to get these turnovers. My biggest thing about the ruck situation, which has been in here since, I think, Early Access 1, is the thing that bothers me the most about the rucks is that there is nothing on screen to tell the player when they are or aren't winning a ruck, offensively or defensively. They do have the ruck bar on the side of the ruck, but it doesn't really mean anything. That bar basically, like right now, it's even, they have the ball. That bar doesn't mean anything. It's just something on screen. That time it's more blue than orange, they still have the ball. It doesn't mean anything. There is nothing on screen like in other rugby games that we've had where it clearly shows you are about to lose this ruck, you need to use the ball quicker, or you haven't got enough players in, you can tell what's going on. I think of Rugby 2011 where you spammed A and you could clearly see a marker on screen, the bar filling up when you were tapping A, your opponent was tapping A, and whoever tapped A the most won. It was a speed game. Who got there first? You could see what was going on. In Rugby 25, the issue for me is still there is no feedback to the player on screen to say why you are losing a ruck or not winning a ruck. Sometimes I will have 3 guys in a ruck. They will have none. I've got the ball. It's at the back of the ruck. I'm waiting to pass it out. They add 1 guy in and they take over the ruck. And I have no idea why, as a player, why that happens. Same has happened to me against the AI. Same has happened in online modes. And there's also nothing you can do from a defensive standpoint to adjust your game plan to be able to deal with it. If you have 3 guys in a ruck and they've got nobody, you think you've won. And yet somehow they still turn it over. Right, we're struggling to get the ball back. We're on medium against Georgia with a higher rated team now, I think, as Wales. Anyway, we probably, I'm not sure in actual world rankings, but in terms of the game, I believe Wales are still ranked higher. Can't get the ball back there again. Can we get in for this one, boys? And get a turnover? No, and this was something I did notice when I played that first half when the update first came out last night. Getting turnovers was actually much easier at the start of the game, and then got progressively harder as the game went on, which to me says it's almost got something to do with fatigue, like how fatigued are your players, that in order that you can't get a turnover of the ball if your players are getting tired. But it seems to affect you more than the AI, which suggests that you are losing fatigue, but the AI is not. When it comes to the breakdown work, which is a little bit strange. How many rucks have we had here? We're on medium. Does this feel like improved rucks? It's feeling the same. The first 20 minutes felt like there was a difference. Now it doesn't. We're getting in, we're pressing B, we're pressing X, we're trying to steal. That one we did get a steal. That one was using the X button for the steal, which is what people have said they've had the most luck with. It's the button I've had the most luck with myself. Is using the X button to steal. But again, there's not enough on screen for me to be able to say to you as the player, clearly you are about to steal this if you press X now, if you're able to get there. I would even prefer a quick time event to pop up and say press X and get the steal rather than it just be tapping X or holding down X or trying to do stuff. They also feel like they've changed the lines of where the players are stood defensively. The fact that it's very hard now to sort of get those snipes with the number 9 that you will have seen on everyone's videos. It was basically the only thing anyone did. I find it very boring to just constantly try and go with the 9, but they've sort of moved the guards around the ruck a little bit closer, so we'll have a go for one now. We're trying to get away with the 9. They've got someone there now around the ruck, so it's actually much harder to pull them off, which I like. I'm really glad about that, because if anyone has played online as of yet, that is the only thing anyone ever does in online, and it's very boring to watch. Let's see if we can go right hand side this time. That time we are able to slide through, but the guy behind the ruck is able to stop us. So they have made adjustments there, which is good. It was the biggest cheese basically in the game. You can still do slaloms, which look bizarre. I don't know how they're going to find a correction for that, because again, that is something people do in online mode, and it would be much more fun if people played properly. There's clearly exploits, and I watched the Rugby Guru doing a live stream as well. He came up against a guy, and it was just every exploit under the sun. Is how people play, rather than just like being like, oh, should we play a fun game of rugby? It is, how can I basically cheat the most? And he was getting a bit annoyed about it, and I've played people doing the exact same thing, and it is quite annoying. You know, at least run forwards with the ball, or, you know, a bit of a diagonal is okay. You know, you've got to make some ground. Oh, that looked like a knock-on from there, guys. Apparently not. Referee didn't want to get involved with that one. I still don't think they've got the TMO in the game as of yet, which is a shame. I would like to see the TMO. Still got those rubbish passes away. Let's see if we can go for another turnover here. This guy looks kind of isolated. Can we get in? No turnover there for me. They're probably going to look to kick this ball out. I've also noticed the AI is getting worse at kicking the ball off the park. I might... Oh, like that. That's an accidental offside. We're still 0-0. I've actually had games where I've had good scores. It's because I'm specifically trying to look for the rucks rather than just, you know, trying to cheese it going over for tries and what have you. Let's press carry on for now. Still looking at these lineouts. I want more lineouts. The AI, for some reason, isn't kicking the ball out as much. But the lineout situation, you can now steal lineouts again, which we had in like early access 6, and then for some reason disappeared. You can once again steal... oh, okay, my guy's going to pick it up. Well, you know what, let's run with it. You can now steal lineouts again. Oh, I still can't kick the ball from that when I've managed to break the line for some reason. But yeah, you can get your hands on the ball in the lineout. I also had one last night when I first downloaded this update. I got the lineout call wrong on one of my opposition's lineouts, and I still stole the ball. So there is obviously something else at play. Now, that was something I experienced in Rugby 08 and actually didn't mind. I don't mind that you can get it wrong and still steal the ball. That feels like kind of more realistic, that maybe the thrower got it wrong than the jumper getting it wrong. But I would like to know, again, there's nothing on screen to display why I was able to steal that ball if I got it wrong. Oh, there's an injury there coming in for Gareth Thomas, not playing this weekend. Let's go for another little scrum half cheese here, because we want to get at least a try. Let's do something. So you can still do it. It is tricky to get away with the scrum half stuff, but I'm glad they've added a bit more guarding around the ruck time, because it's... what was wrong this time compared to it? It seemed to be pretty much the same setup, but the AI number 9 just didn't get onto me there, and you're able to run it over. It is still there. You can still cheese it. Right. Kick takers, for me, should be Ben Thomas. I mean, what is our current team lineup? I mean, Anscombe's playing, but obviously they haven't changed that. They've still got Ben Thomas at 10. That's okay. You know, for now. The teams came out for this weekend very recently. They're not going to have adjusted that in time. We'll slot that one through. Again, from a visual standpoint, I've had a few kicks since launch that barely make it off the tee. And I don't feel like I do anything different. There's nothing on screen to explain to me why some of my kicks fail. And I know a lot of other people are getting annoyed about that as well, when the kicks aren't working properly, or you kick the ball wide. I don't mind kicking the ball wide, but I'd like to know why I've done it. Right, let's right. We want less possession of the ball, because we want to actually Test out the rucks. We want to test out the lineouts bit. I just wanted to get something in this game to be able to showcase I actually can score a try. There's another example of someone not catching the ball in that sort of, well, that was the wing at that time, but the fullback position not actually catching the ball has become an issue, and I think a lot of people will probably experience that with this latest patch. Right, let's go. You know, so this is a good show. We've got now the set for defensive Maul. I'm going to go middle jumper. Weren't able to steal it. They went for the front jumper. Good call by them. But they've now added a B button for the defensive player. And the B button effectively means that nobody jumps in the air, but you are prepared for the Maul. So as it lands from Maul, your guys rush into the Maul really quickly and set it up. That is very like actual rugby union, and I like that that's been added in. But I can think of, you know, only am I going to do that in my own 5-meter channel, probably am I ever going to use that. Because it's always worth trying to steal the ball, and may even arguably worth trying to steal the ball anyway in your own 5-meter channel, because the Maul still seems like you get a good drive anyway. So, but I like that that's been added. That feels a little bit more realistic. That's a nice little break by them. Let's try and get that right. This guy's now a little bit more exposed. None of my guys wanted to get in the ruck. I've left another massive hole in my defensive line. That is something my guys seem to do that the AI don't, is just outside the ruck, after your sort of your first receiver line. My guys seem to leave a massive hole on so many of the carries where they were able to get that one over. Okay, there's another turnover for us. So turnovers, they are getting there. It's all to do with the X button. Oh, who's that? Oh, that's me. Okay, I'm offside. Well, that's their penalty. They'll kick it in. We'll have another line-out. Why not? The line-out, the offside issue still hasn't been fixed, where guys just stand offside and you get blown up, it looks like. That's a shame. But the rucking system is all to do with X. That's what I've experienced with now probably a good 15 hours of gameplay since launch. X is your best bit. You've got to get as many people in as possible, and then... Oh, not able to steal at that time either. And then able to use X to be able to take the ball once you've got the most people in the ruck. That is what I have experienced as being better. Other people have said in the FAQ pages and on Discord they've found different things. At the start of this game, I was using only B. I didn't even use X, and I still got two turnovers, but that seems to have gone out the window now. Now it seems to be only if I'm using X am I going to get a steal. Some people have said use Y. Some people have said that they found their best technique has been alternating X and Y. The tutorials really don't explain enough how it works. It tells you a button to use, it tells you when to use it, but the tutorials don't prepare you for a real game mode, and it doesn't feel the same in the tutorials as it does in an actual game mode. So there's still something to be worked on there. I would still like to see something from the guys at Big Ant say, this is how rucks work. This is how you're meant to do them, so that we could all know, because at the minute it is still so up in the air about what changes what. Am I meant to be a guy in the ruck? Am I meant to be highlighted as a guy outside of the ruck? Am I meant to have the turnovers only really occur when I've got all 3 players in? There's so many questions around rucking which just can't really be answered from you doing so. Oh, I've also got an advantage. Oh, they've got an advantage for something here. Let's get in and try and get this one turned over then, so that we can get on with it, or we can get this advantage run over. It does feel very stationary again as we got into this medium difficulty. Let me quickly do a swap to go to the sideline menu, just to see if it feels like it makes any difference. We're now heading off to the from left to right. Let's see if any turnovers can come in here. I maintain it is harder to get turnovers on the sideline camera than on the end-on camera. I don't think it should be that way, but it is. That is the sensation I've had since playing this. This is a long advantage from the ref. Then saying that, we do get a turnover. Who knows? Who knows is the question. That you have to be, you know, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe that's what's come in the little new update since last night when I played. Maybe they've made it equal across the board. We'll have a go at handoffs on sideline camera. What do we do there? 30 rucks on the end on camera, swap to sideline camera. Suddenly we can win a ruck. Why? What changed? I'm not doing anything differently. I'm only doing the same things on every single one. So I don't know why that is different. Let's just slot that one through. Will it go over? Will it barely go off the tee? That one went now. Now that one went to the right-hand side, and I felt it in my own hand. I pushed that slightly towards the right, and I don't mind that it goes left or right. It's the ones that barely get off the tee that just really bother me in this game. George gets kicked off once again. I really want to try and steal a line out for you guys in the video, because I know it can be done. I've got a screenshot of me actually stealing a line out, but I want to do it in this. So they're going to kick long. Let's just, let me just take this one in for a second. Oh, we're in for a Maul. Oh, no, we're not. I don't know why my number 9 keeps picking up. Right, let's go for it. Oh, I can't kick. Hang on. Tackle me, please. Thank you. Right, let's go for a box kick. Oh, slowly. Oh, yeah, get the loose head prop in. Oh, no, still can't box kick. I literally can't get this. Time's not on our side, boys. Go. Thomas, kick it out. Right, one more chance to steal a line out. Here we go. We're going to go middle, and we're going to go for the attempt to steal. We want to get a good jump here, boys. Come on. I don't think it's got anything to do with timing. I think it is just to do with selecting your jump. I'm going to go middle. Go front again. Stop going front. I'm trying to showcase lineouts. But you can steal lineouts. Lineout steals are back in the game. Take my word for it. I have a screenshot. I've experienced it. Sadly, not in this game, as is the way with trying to showcase it, live in a video right then. It would take, a bit of luck to have actually got that one up. I still don't get that. We tackled we got a good sack there on the guy trying to do a box kick, but apparently that is an advantage to us, and they've just kicked it off. They were losing 14-0, but rather than play on Georgia, we've had enough of this game. Still things going on, still issues going on. We weren't able to necessarily test out that the penalty kick takers are correct. They didn't give away any penalties. Not a lot I can do about that. Improve rucks. We'll do some thoughts and feedback now. Let's get into it. Let's get into some thoughts and feedback on this one. So again, the patch notes for this one have been kind of rough. They're just words. They're just a black. I want to see a text of how they've been improved and why. And it was sort of an over early access. It's hard to gauge what is meant by it. So, outdated players and rosters. Having a quick look at the teams that we got to see. Looks like the players have been updated in their lineups. They've changed some of the goal kick takers, like BLBRE is now Roman Entomac. Still should be Ramos, in my opinion. But it looks like they have done some updates there, which is nice. Player stat updates. If they've done any updates there in the background, still don't seem right. I just don't believe Antoine Dupont is faster than BLBRE. Things like that, especially for at least the World Cup teams, where I think the most viewership will probably be for this game. You want to make sure those stats are pretty on point with, with how they are in realism-wise. But it does look like they've updated the players and rosters. Improve rucks. Are the rucks improved? Did I get more turnovers in that game? Yes. Yes, I did. I want to do a little bit more testing in the background with the sideline to the end-on camera. My experience since launch has been you can get turnovers on the end-on camera, whereas getting them on the side camera is really, really tricky, and I don't know why that is. My only thing is that it might be something to do with the analog stick, and the way you win rucks might have something to do with pushing the analog stick in the right direction. But as I've experienced with the handoff issue, I think the right analog stick you use for handoffs or for sidesteps, as you move to the sideline camera, all of the options on your right analog stick rotate like 90 degrees, and it breaks the handoff button. So I'm not sure if something to do with the left analog stick is more used in rucks, and they just don't explain it anywhere. They don't explain it in tutorials. It's the only reason I can think that the two camera angles make a difference in this game. We did get more turnovers in that game. Right at the start of the game, there was turnovers for both teams in the first 20 quite early on, which makes me think it's, again, tied to fatigue of players, because it got worse as the game went on. But then it's still not clear what the buttons are. The first turnovers you saw at the start of the match were to do with pressing B, and only B. I didn't touch X at all, but still there was turnovers coming in. Then I tried doing that about half time, and it stopped working. So then I swapped over to using the X button, and then I was able to get a couple more steals. Why is it changing? What am I meant to do as the player? They've been improved. You can get more. At least you can get your hands on the ball now. And the AI isn't quite blowing you out the water as much as they have done in previous, updates for this game. It still needs to be explained better to the general player. What are we doing? And what do you expect from us? Because the game doesn't translate it across well enough. Improved lineouts. Didn't show it in this game. I've played it myself, before doing this video, and you can steal lineouts if you get the jumpers called correctly. You have an increased chance. It's not 100%. There is an increased chance if you get the call correct, you can steal the ball. The AI can also steal the ball off you. I haven't had an AI steal it off me yet, but I've seen in the Discord people saying they've had it stolen off them. They've also added the defensive Maul option for the defensive side, which I think is a nice update, actually, because if you're on your own 5 meter line, you can catch the ball and set up for the Maul without you needing to contest in the air. But I have stolen the ball, even when getting the wrong call at the line out, so there must be a percentage chance on every jump now that you can steal the ball, but it's just much higher if you get the correct call. Improved career recruitment. Hard to sort of look at, just on the face value without, playing a full season and being able to understand. The recruitment is an issue in the thing that a lot of people struggle with. I've got my current one on a pretty easy setup to be able to just recruit players as and when I want to, just because I wanted to test the depth of the career mode. But yeah, I don't know. I'll let you guys drop down in the comment section if you've experienced that it's actually been made better. But they have fixed now in your actual season, if you change your team lineup, it will save. But apparently not from season to season. So, you know, not a lot we can do about that. Corrected the set piece kick takers. We had Ben Thomas kicking us for them. We didn't get to try out a penalty because the AI didn't give away a penalty. Another lot we can do without that. I haven't seen that one corrected yes or no. But it looks like they have, at least in the team rosters, they've now changed the kick takers to be people who do kick the ball as opposed to left wingers and stuff. So I'd like to see about the penalties and stuff. We weren't lucky enough in that game to get it. And then finally, improved stability. We've had no crashes. One of the things they've put out for these patches has been the improved stability. It's the thing they push the most. And crashes have stopped for me on the PC version. I don't remember. I think the last crash I had was the day of release. I don't think I've had a crash since then. So the stability side of things is working. There's not really been any sort of issues. There have been other issues come across. It's not going to be in the patch notes. They're not going to raise issues. But like the fullbacks not catching the ball anymore is something I've noticed consistent. They've stopped catching the ball. Also just players around the park not catching from kicks. I've had a couple of videos I put up on the Discord of balls bouncing off people's heads or people headbutting the ball on rather than picking up a loose ball. So collection of the ball seems to have taken a backward step, even with things like the lineouts and stuff making a forward step. It's a new update. You guys can get involved in it and play the game yourselves. It's still getting there. I still will hold off on doing a career mode until I'm like, you know what, the gameplay for me is at a level where I feel it's satisfactory to warrant a 20 episode series, or at least to see a couple more improvements to have the gameplay feel a little bit more fun. It still feels a little bit robotic. It still feels like you basically got to use the 9 or do the handoff cheese on every sort of play. Otherwise, it is pretty tricky to get tries and stuff in this game. Let me know what you guys think of the update down in the comment section. If you've been playing along since launch, has the game been improving for you since launch? Along the way, I do enjoy having to read through the comment sections. I'll see you all next time, guys. Bye bye.